I was joking with the Flare PR team where I said they should turn NFT one into a dark room and play Beau Mec, which some of them kind of went, oh, and some went, ooh.
So I think we've only touched on a porno film once. I say porno, it's really weird saying porno because that's kind of like a semi-derogatory word, is it, for a pornographic film? I don't know. I know it's a lot easier to say, isn't it?
I mean, we only ever talk about it at Flare. Let's put it that way.
Well, we touched on a short, which was kind of porn.
Oh,
quite
what
racy.
was that short? Remember that short? I think I rewatched that short. What was it? It was quite racy.
The Guy in the Lake.
The Guy in the Lake. Oh yeah, that one. It was really
I don't think
good.
it was called
really,
that, but that's all I remember.
It really ticked a load of artistic boxes for me, that one.
So this time around, we're talking about Beau Mec. Late 70s it was made, but since the late 70s, it's kind of just been available on VHS, and those VH tapes, I think, have now been, well, very hard to find, but it's back, and they've kind of revived it for the BFI Flare Film Festival, which, by the way, we're covering. We are Boys on Film. My name is Phil, and that is Sean, and we are talking porn. Beau Mec, tell us about this, Sean. How would you sum this up?
Well, hi everyone. Well, it's porn, so we just park that. I think we can work that out.
We'll get taken off YouTube, you realise.
Yeah, I can use other words, but basically it follows the story. It's what's overlaid onto the porn is really a gay man's story of his life, and that gay man that we're talking about is Karl Forest, who's a bit of a babe, and really he narrates over the top of what is at times quite graphic porn for science in 1979, but really tells his story. It's an hour and 10 minutes. It's directed by Wallace Potts, and really just this overlay of how someone starts their career. I think he was in the army for a while, and then he found himself in the city, and how he started to basically get involved with hooking, a bit of escorting. Like, it's a really quite bonkers story, but not a story that's not been tread before. So we've heard that kind of journey before, but the way that it's presented and the fact that this is, nearly 25 years old, I think it's quite powerful. It is very racy.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't spare any detail, does it? I mean, you got everything there. If you could just imagine what what is usually in a porn film.
It's exactly what you would expect in a porn film. I can finesse the narrative over the top of it, but it is fundamentally a porn film.
Well, that's the thing, because the narrative, there isn't much dialogue, is there? But there are a lot of chopping scenes. But the scenes, I think, are beautifully done. I mean, there's a lot of close-ups. There's a lot of scenery. I mean, you've got like a kind of forest scene with a lake, and you've got like a club scene, and you've got a gym, I think, at one point. So it does, the locations are all chopped up to keep it interesting, or should I say keep it more interesting?
It is a classic of the genre. I mean, it's very well known, Beau Mec. I was joking with the Flare PR team where I said they should turn NFT one into a dark room and play Beau Mec, which some of them kind of went, oh, and some went, ooh.
You could just see the ideas going round in their heads. Oh, that might work.
It'd be quite a good idea to turn NFT one into a dark room and then play this classic French porn. Anyway, let's see whether that happens.
Exactly. So the director and the writer, it's co-written with Karl Forest, but Wallace Potts was Rudolf Nureyev's last lover. Is that right? Which is
there is
bonkers.
A frisson with Nureyev. I don't know how much we can hold to it, but yeah, there's definitely a narrative around Nureyev, which is, I think, quite exciting.
And Nureyev, I think, did some of the choreography in this, because, I mean, some of it is really choreographed, isn't it? I mean, it's very slow-moving.
Yeah. The way
elegant.
It's framed and the pacing isn't your standard, through the curtain.
No.
DVD at the back of the room kind of fodder.
Yeah. I mean, it is explicit, but it's definitely sensual. It's lovemaking, is it? To use the old-fashioned term.
No, there's a book by John Reshi called I think it's called The Sexual Outlaw, and it feels similar to that, which basically follows the story of the person, but actually they're in the US, about how they get involved in the scene and how they go from hookup to hookup. And yeah, it made me think about some of those also classic queer texts like John Reshi. So there was some resonance with that. But that was, I'd say that it's almost like a trope, but that is a common story that often flows through a lot of those texts in the late 70s, early 80s, and a lot of the porn and the adult films that were made at a similar time.
So there we go. We've got another porn review in the can for Boys on Film. Who knew that was going to happen? It came from somewhere.
We just made it feel arty.
So are we able to do a star rating? I mean, that's kind of weird in itself, isn't it? Rating.
Well, I was just thinking, how do you star rate? Well, I don't know. Maybe we should ask the viewers. What do you think it should be? It's quite
That's such a cop out. I love it though, because I'm definitely over that. Yeah, drop a comment below if you saw it at BFI Flare. Maybe you've got some more stories to tell us.
Let us know what you think it should be rated and why.
It's definitely memorable, I'll say that.
Yeah, it's definitely memorable, for sure. Go see it. And maybe it'll be in the dark room at NFT1. Maybe it won't.
Yeah, watch this space. Thank you, Sean, as always. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the BFI Flare playlist on the screen now. And we'll see you on the next one. Just expecting you to do some Nureyev moves now as you trot off into the distance.